All right, if you're a developer or builder in the AI space, you already know the last 24 hours have been an absolute whirlwind. We're going to break down the biggest breakthroughs, the new security nightmares, and what it all actually means for you when you're building. So let's get right into it and unpack what just happened. I'm going to start with a sentence that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it is now our reality. An AI acting completely on its own just caused a massive cloud outage. You heard that right. AWS, the biggest cloud provider on the planet, had a 13-hour outage. And what's really wild here is the cause. An internal system, this AI called Claude AI, just started doing its own thing, deleting and then recreating a live production environment, all without a single human signing off on it. This whole event just shines a massive spotlight on a brand new class of systemic risk we're only just beginning to get our heads around. But it leads to a scarier thought, right? What happens when that kind of AI agency isn't an accident, but it's malicious? And that, of course, brings us to the dark side of all this AI power. While some systems are causing chaos by mistake, others are being deliberately weaponized to scale attacks in ways we've just never seen before. The entire game has fundamentally changed. Traditional hacking was often this slow, manual, painstaking process. But now, attackers are using commercial generative AI for literally every single stage of an attack. We're talking about AI writing new exploit tools, analyzing security telemetry to find the weakest points, and allowing even less sophisticated actors to operate at a truly massive scale. And here's a perfect example of the impact. Just recently, a single financially motivated threat actor used AI to compromise over 600 FortiGate devices. That's across 55 different countries. And they didn't even need some fancy zero-day exploit, some vulnerability that nobody knew about. Nope. They just used AI to find basic security gaps, like weak credentials, at a scale that would be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for a human team. It just goes to show that even basic vulnerabilities become critical threats when you can find them at AI scale. And somehow it gets worse. One analyst, I think, captured this nightmare scenario perfectly. They said attackers created a city-scale landfill fire. How? By chaining together a compromised NPM package, a super common building block for all you web developers out there, to install a malicious AI agent called OpenClaw. So this isn't just one threat, it's a whole chain reaction of modern risks all tangled together. Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. As the offense gets smarter, the defense is getting smarter too. So let's look at the new generation of AI-powered defensive tools that are starting to even the odds for every single builder watching this. The really big shift here is something called reasoning-based security. So forget those old school scanners that just look for obvious, known mistakes. These new tools, they read and actually reason about your code the same way a top-tier human security researcher would. They can spot those really subtle, high-impact flaws that pop up from complex interactions, the kind of bugs that traditional tools almost always miss. And a perfect example of this is Anthropic's new Claude Code Security tool. Let's just walk through how this works. First, the AI scans your entire codebase. Then it reasons about where the vulnerabilities might be. Next, it suggests a precise patch to fix it. And then, and this is the crucial part, it waits for a human to review and approve it. It's this four-step process that keeps a human in the loop, basically acting as a super-powered assistant for your security team. And look, this isn't some far-off research project we're talking about. These incredibly powerful frontier models, like the Claude 3 family, are being integrated directly into the platforms you're already using every day, like Azure Databricks. The most advanced AI tools are no longer just sitting in a lab somewhere. They are in your terminal right now. So what's fueling this insane pace of innovation on both the attack and defense side? Well, the answer, as it so often is money. A truly staggering amount of it. Let's just try to put this into perspective. In just the first 2 months of this year, 17 US-based AI startups each raised over $100 million in funding. That's like a new unicorn being born every 4 days. And that's just the startups. Anthropic, the company behind that code security tool we were just talking about, closed a Series G funding round of $30 billion. That's with a B. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire GDP of some countries. And that single funding round values the company at an astronomical $380 billion. This isn't just business as usual, folks. This is a massive economic shift that is pouring rocket fuel on this AI arms race. So, with these unbelievably powerful tools, this massive wave of investment, and these escalating risks, what does this actually mean for you, the person who's actually building things? How do you navigate all of this? Okay, here are the 3 key takeaways for every builder watching this. First, after that AWS outage, any and every AI system that can touch your infrastructure needs a manual override, a big red button, no exceptions. Second, if you're giving an AI agent privileged access to your build pipelines, to your security triage, you have to govern it with the exact same level of scrutiny you would a human engineer. And third, the era of trying to chase one giant general AI, it's kind of fading. The real wins right now are coming from specialized models, tools that are built for coding or for security for specific measurable tasks. We're at this absolutely critical moment where the theoretical power of AI has become an operational reality, for good and for bad. The tools to build and the tools to break are evolving at a pace that is just breathtaking. As AI writes more of our code and runs more of our world, the responsibility for writing the rules, well, it falls on all of us. The only question is, what role are you going to play?